single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. Hopefully, combine those two things, bring some good vibes into the internet, and make it a little bit easier for us to make a bunch of progress in our hip mobility, in our side splits. That is the goal. If that sounds like a cool thing to you, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. Otherwise, let's get started with the warm up. The first thing that we're going to do is some hip cars. Hip cars are all about moving your leg and hip through its maximum range of motion, and it starts like this. We're going to lift our knee up as high as possible. Then we're going to open up that hip directly to the side, keep the knee as high as possible. We're going to rotate that leg. Get your leg to horizontal first, horizontal between the ankle and the knee, and then keep going. Rotate, 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 rotate. Bring that ankle up. Then from here, bring that leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel the stretch in the hip flexor in the front. Really try to bring this knee back while keeping your back nice and straight. And that is 1 rep. We're gonna do 10 of these. So let's get ready. Che says, here too. Ooh, somebody else must have said here. And hello, other person whose chat has disappeared above my screen. Let's go. We're doing 10. High knee. Open. Ankle up, ankle up, ankle up, down and back. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. I stopped, or I never started counting, so let's just pretend this is 3. 4, 5, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. 6, open, ankle up, down and back. 7, open, ankle up, down and back. 8, open, ankle, back. 9, open, ankle, back. 10, open, ankle, back. That is hip cars. Probably a couple more than we need to do, but we did them anyway. Let's go other side. Whew. Again, we're starting with high knee. We're opening up that hip directly to the side, trying to keep the knee high. Then from here, we're rotating the leg, rotating, 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 trying to bring the ankle as high as possible, and bring the leg down and back. Flexing the hamstrings, flexing the glutes, stretching out that hip flexor in the front, trying to keep that chest straight while bringing the leg back. Let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. It's 2, 3, 4. Open. Ankle up, down and back. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. 6, open, ankle up, down and back. 7, open, ankle up, down and back. 8, open, ankle up, down and back. 9, open, ankle up, down and back. 10, open, ankle up, down and back. Those are the hip cars. And we have just done hip cars going forward. Now we're going to do them going backwards. Same main positions that we're going to use. The order is just slightly different. So let's talk it through real quick. We're bringing the leg back, flexing the hamstrings, flexing the glutes, feeling that stretch in the hip flexor, trying to keep the upper body straight. We're lifting the leg directly to the side. I want you to imagine we're going whoosh, giving a nice kick. But we're only going to do that once. From here, your knees and your ankle are horizontal. I want you to lift that ankle up, then bring it all the way down, and then bring the knee forward. All right? Might be a little bit confusing. Don't worry. You'll get it in like 3 seconds, I promise. Back, side, ankle up, then ankle all the way down, knee, 1. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 2. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 3. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 4. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 5. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 6. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 7. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 8, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 9, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 10. That's 10 hip cars going backwards. Let's go. Last leg. Wrap this up so we can move on to something a little bit more chill. Let's do it. Bring the leg back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Lift directly to the side. By the way, hold on to something for balance if you need it. We care more that you're lifting and bring your legs to maximum range of motion than we do about you showing off your balancing skills. Rotate the ankle up, 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 up. Then bring the knee bring the ankle all the way down. Keep that knee high and bring the knee to the front. I have a little clicky spot in my hip right here, and I'm gonna need a second while I figure out. There it goes. It clicked. Should be good for the rest of the day. Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 3, 4, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 5, 6, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 7, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 8, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 9, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. And that is 10. We just did 10 hip cars going forward, going back on each leg. And that is the first of our 3 warm-up exercises. Go ahead, take a break, grab a sip of water, and mentally prepare yourself to move on to warm-up exercise number 2. I'm going to check out the chat real quick on the platforms. We got a hello on YouTube. Hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody. And on Tickety Talkety, we have a couple of highs. Welcome back. All right. If you're just joining in, we're doing 45 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. I bring good vibes to the internet. I hope you bring good vibes into the chat. We support each other, and hopefully that combination of consistency, community, good vibes into the internet makes the whole thing a lot more fun, a lot more manageable, a lot less painful because of distractions, and we can make a whole bunch of progress together. If that sounds fun, if that sounds cool, hit follow, hit subscribe. We're here every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. Might be slightly different for whatever time zone you are in, but we started about 10 minutes ago. So 10 minutes ago is our daily start time. Cool. Let's do this. We're moving on into warm-up exercise number 2, and we're going to keep it gentle for number 2 because the first one was so intense. We're going to just fold forward. We're trying to get into this L shape, like so. If you're stuck a little bit higher up because your hamstrings are really tight, that is okay. It is absolutely a part of the a part of the process, and one day you will progress. Whew. From here, we're trying to bring the belly button down. If your knees slightly bend because you have knee pain and it's a lot of pressure when you start folding forward, that is absolutely okay. But if you do bend, I want you to really try to bring the belly button down in towards the ground, because when your knees bend, there's a little bit less tension in the hamstrings, and to get all that tension back, you just got to bring your belly button even far further. Cool. We're just hanging out for a little bit. No need to stress. Breathe. Being stressed actually does the opposite of helping your body relax. It makes you more tense, and we don't want that. That doesn't help you. So chill. All right. We've hung out here for a little bit. I hope you've tried to bring your belly button down. You're feeling the tension in your hamstrings. Now we're going to bend one knee, much more than the casual bend that we had before. And we're going to straighten out the other leg. We're going to go from side to side while keeping the belly button as low as you can bring it. Your hamstrings should feel tingly. Your legs should feel weird. Things should be kind of shifting in place in your legs. Maybe your calves are tingly. Maybe your toes are a little bit tingly. Some of this is called nerve flossing, and it is fine. The tingly sensation is okay because we're doing this relatively gently. If you start doing this super explosively, maybe it's not so fun. So take it chill. Don't do this explosively. Keep going. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings. Feel the shifting, feel the weirdness, and know that it's probably normal. In your hamstrings, you got 3 muscles that make up the hamstrings. One of them is called a bicep, just like your bicep here has a bicep. Your hamstrings also have a bicep, which just means one end of one of the muscles splits into 2 pieces, and it looks like a slingshot, a sausage maybe, and that means there's basically 4 ropes of muscle just running up your leg, in your leg by itself. There's a lot of complexity in there, and when you're doing something like this, where they're stretched out to their max, and you're moving and moving and moving, they're shifting, they're rubbing, they're doing all sorts of things up against each other, and that is the weirdness that you are feeling probably. All right, we've done a bunch of these already, so let's stop and come out of this for a second. Come back into standing. Whew. If you're feeling tingly, feeling a little bit weird, shake out the legs, relax, give them a second to chill, do a little dance, whatever you gotta do, and we're gonna get right back into that same position to do some thoracic rotation. Thoracic rotation is just fancy for we're gonna rotate the thoracic spine, which is basically the middle chunk of the spine. It's gonna look something vaguely like this. We're gonna get back in that same position. We're folded at the hips. Our belly button is pointed towards the ground. We're gonna bend one leg. We're gonna straighten the other. We're gonna extend the arm across to the straightened leg. We're gonna push against that ankle to help rotate the chest. So my right leg is straight. I'm rotating to the right. My right hand is extending behind me. My head is turning to the right to look at those fingers. I'm reaching behind us. Remember, I talk fast, but you do not have to move fast. Take a slow reach and come back down. We're gonna do the same on the other side. Left leg is straight. Right hand reaches across to the left side. Helps to push against the ankle to rotate the chest to the left. Left hand extends into the air behind you. You're looking at those fingers. You're like, this is as far as I can reach this time, and I'm going to reach a little further next time. Whew, that is 1 rep. We're going to do 5 in total, and then we're going to move on. Again, I talk fast. You don't have to move as fast. You got plenty of time. Let's go. Right leg straight. Left hand reaches across. Chest rotates to the right. Hand is up on the right side, and we're looking back. We're trying to reach a little bit further. Make sure that when you're doing this, imagine each of the vertebrae in your spine adding a little bit of that total rotation, like a little staircase that's winding up. We don't want all of the rotation to come from one spot because that is a lot of twisting. We want a little bit of rotation from everybody so that you're working together and feeling good. Cool. This is 3, and obviously it's hard for you to monitor that, so that's just what I want you to imagine is happening. So that you can identify if maybe, I don't know, something feels a little bit strange. You want to get that checked out. Cool. All right. I have no idea how many of these we've done, but let's just do one more. And once again, straighten one leg, my left leg. Reach your right hand across to the left leg. Push that ankle. Extend and reach behind you. Breathe, and that is the second to last rep. Last one. Boom. We are done with some thoracic rotations. Shake out the body. Get loose. When you're doing that reaching, a lot of muscles are straining, trying to get into new positions. Maybe your shoulder blades are a little bit tired. Maybe these shoulders are feeling a little bit tired. That is a-okay. You know why that's okay? Because that's basically all we do for the shoulders and for the arms. So you get to relax and rest them for the whole rest of the thing. Let's move on to Cossack switches, which is the warm-up number 3. Cossack switches look basically like this. We're trying to drop down to one side. We're trying to scoot our butts over to the other side. And there are lots of different ways to make this a little bit harder, a little bit easier. The first thing we're going to do is stretch out our hips in that squish down on the ground position to make it a little bit easier for you to go from side to side. What we're going to do is you're going to have to decide this part by yourself. Figure out which angle for each leg is comfortable for you. If you want, you can point your toes directly in front. You can try and drop into a squat, and then you can push your knees forward and just kind of hug your leg. All right, from the side, I guess it looks vaguely like this. If you want, you can bring both legs together if it helps you balance at first. And I just want you to hug your knees into your chest and get small, get compressed, get low to the ground. And I want you to feel maybe a little bit of pressure here in the front of the hip when you do that, because that is what is going to get squished when we do a bunch of Cossack switches. So instead of jumping right in, we're going to spend a couple of seconds preparing our bodies for the deep position so we can get the most out of the Cossack switches. If you cannot squish as deep as this, that is totally fine. We're just taking steps to get to something that looks a little bit more like what I was just doing. There's way more beyond what I'm able to do that I can't demonstrate. So I can only show you my best, and I hope you can give me your best. Cool? Let's see what is next. From that squished position, I want you to try to extend this leg out to the side, and I want you to have your heels down. I want you to have your knees pointing up, your toes pointing up, and your heel down. This is called external leg rotation. We need it for the side splits because we need to get the leg bone to rotate out of the way of the thigh bone and not smash into each other and cause us to suffer. We're trying to reduce suffering that's unnecessary and only do the suffering that is absolutely necessary. Cool. From here, we're going to put our hands down. We're going to try and scoop our butts over to the other side. The lower your butt is, the more intense it's going to be. The higher your butt is, the easier it will be. And that is basically the Cossack switch. But there is a couple of details I want to highlight. I want you to try your best to have your heels down, both on the foot you're standing on and the foot that's over here externally rotated. If you can't get that 100% of the time, you're in this position where your knees are coming really far forward and your heel is up, that is okay for now. But I do want you to try to bring your heels down and back. You might notice that the form's a little bit different. Maybe the only way you can balance with your heel down is to be much higher up off the ground. That is what you got to do, then that is what you got to do. All right? Your quads are going to fire. It's going to make it a lot more tiring. And that means you should take breaks. Cool? All right. Let's see. Is there anything else you need to know about Cossack switches? We're going from side to side. And you can put your hands down. You can put your hands not down. You can stand up a little bit straighter, extend your arms from side to side. And the main thing I want you to focus on is keeping your heels down. If you can, try to compress for a second at the end on each side. And if your knees are hurting, you can come up to a half squat, come across, and then sit back down into that deep position. All right, let's go. We're doing 10 of these. Get as low and deep and squished as you can. Hopefully that stretching we did at the beginning with the little squish is helpful. Heels down, come on over to the other side, and heels down, squish. Again, you can use your hands to make life a little bit easier. If this is your first time doing it, definitely use your hands so you can figure out what's going on with your hips, because this is a crazy movement. This, I believe, is rep number 3. We're going for 4. If you're looking for something a little bit more intense, you can stand up a little straighter, stick your arms out in front of you to help counterbalance. I believe this is 6. And if your knees are achy, you can come up and then squish down. Come up, come over, and then squish down. Come up, come over, and then squish down. That, I believe, is 8 and 9 and 10. All right, I'm gonna be totally honest, I wasn't able to keep track because I was doing different moves, trying to demonstrate a whole bunch of stuff, but I think that's approximately 10. So I hope your hips are feeling crazy really tired, you're a little bit out of breath. Maybe that's just me because I talk so much and I don't take time to breathe. But we're done with hip cars, and that is the warm-up. Don't freak out if this is your first time. Warm-up for other things means it gets more intense from here. For us, it means our body is actually warmed up. Our muscles are ready to stretch. And the rest of this is going to be a whole bunch of 30-second holds of stretches. And we finish with our fifth and final stretch, the side split itself, and we do 3 rounds of 30 seconds. So we got, I don't know, a couple more minutes of stretching left. We're almost done. Oh, okay, drink some water. Catch your breath. Shake out the legs and the hips if they're still feeling a little bit tired. Shake, 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 shake. Okay. I'm gonna check the chat real quick because I feel like it's been a while since I've been here. Eduardo says he's very excited. Hi, Eduardo. Okay. Ches says here too, and Galletas is present. I figured it was you. Welcome, everybody. Scrolling down, scrolling down, scrolling down, scrolling down. Galleta says, we got this, chat. Katerina says, thank you for sharing your time. Lovely. Okay. If you're just joining in, we're doing 45-ish minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every day to practice consistency, build community, hang out together, have fun, so that we suffer a little bit less when we do the side splits and do hip mobility, and hopefully we make a whole bunch of progress together. Hit follow, hit subscribe, do all those cool things. Cool. Let's get into the stretches. The first stretch we're going to do is the hamstring stretch. And it looks kind of like this. There's going to be a whole bunch of different names, but the goal here is to stretch out the hamstring. So I call it a hamstring stretch. We're going to drop potentially onto both knees. I forgot to tell you this while drinking water, but you need a little bit of a cushion, something to protect your knees. And we are going to point our hips forward, our shoulders forward, our leg forward. We're going to focus on bringing the belly button right here down into a stretch. Your hamstrings are going to hurt. You don't actually have to fly. You can bring your hands anywhere you want. And that is how we're going to set it up. Cool? From here, I'm going to rotate to the side so you can see what my body is doing. Makes it a little bit easier to copy. From here, I want you to try and bring your leg in just a little bit. So instead of being in something that looks like a front split where this hip is going all the way back, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Suck that leg in. Cool? From here, belly button down, hamstrings are getting stretched. They're very uncomfortable. They're tight. That is absolutely a-okay. Adjust for comfort. If you're feeling really off balance right now, you can widen your stance a little bit, and that should help. From here, we're going to take a big inhale, and then after we inhale, we're going to exhale, and slowly we're going to fold forward as we exhale. When we exhale, we release pressure from the body, and sometimes that helps the muscles relax. So let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Bring that belly button down towards the thigh. Belly button to the thigh, belly button to the thigh. Remember, this is not about your head, not about your shoulders. All that stuff isn't what's going to matter. It's about your hips. Cool? Chill, breathe, take a couple of normal breaths. Hang out for a little bit, and we're going to go again. Inhale. Exhale and fold. And when you have gone pretty deep, your hamstrings are pretty unhappy with you, it's time. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. I'd like to remind you that this is, once again, all about the belly button and bringing it down, because your belly button is right above your hip bones. And technically, the only thing we really care about is what your hip bones are doing. But because the belly button is so close, I say belly button all the time because that is easier to talk about than the angle of your hips. Cool? Whew. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. And so, don't worry about what your back is doing. We just don't want you to turn into a ball. All right? Ball is bad. Try to keep that head up. Maybe look slightly up forward in front of you like your mom is coming over and wondering what you're doing. So you're looking up and trying to be like, no, go away. That is going to help keep your back straight. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is the hamstring stretch on one side. Come on up. If you were doing it really intensely and you're starting to feel a little bit of discomfort in your heels, I recommend you go grab maybe a set of flip-flops real quick, just to have on the ground. When you put your heels down, you can squish into that foam just a little bit. Cool? You don't need that cushion anymore. Actually, no, wait, did we just do one leg? We only did one leg. Whoops. Switch over to the other side. And once again, pull that leg in towards your hips. Suck it in. And fold down. My left leg has an old injury, and this leg has been a little bit achy, so I'm not going to fold nearly as intensely as I did on the other leg. And you should also take care of your injuries and be gentle when they need it. Cool? Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. One more. Inhale. Exhale and fold. And now that your hamstrings are crying a little on the inside, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. Another trick for helping to keep your back a little bit straighter. If you look at the floor, your head is probably going to go down. If you look up in front of you at the wall, your head is probably going to come up. And if your head comes up, typically your back also comes up a little bit. You just don't want your hips to come up. Whew. And don't hurt your neck. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Sorry, I just saw a fruit fly. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is our hamstring stretch. I hope you're feeling it in the hamstrings, maybe a little bit in the calves, but mostly in the hamstrings. You might also feel it sort of almost in your butt, your pelvis, your tailbone, the part of your butt that feels really bony when you sit down. That is where the hamstrings connect into your pelvis. So when you fold forward and your pelvis flips and it comes up, the reason why you're feeling the stretch is because when you're standing up straight, your pelvis ends like right here in the middle of your thigh. But when you fold forward, that bottom part of your pelvis goes way out over there, and that is the stretch that you're feeling, and that is why your hamstrings are all achy all the damn time. The hips. It's all the fault of the hips. That's why we work on hip mobility, right? Cool. All right, that was stretch number 1, the hamstring stretch. We're going to move on into stretch number 2. That is the butterfly stretch. The butterfly stretch is all about opening up the groin area. I'm going to come over to this corner to demonstrate. I recommend you get your butt to a wall. If you are pretty much 90% of all people in the world, you're going to benefit from the wall. When you get here, I want you to put your hips, your shoulders, your head against the wall. Enjoy that nice posture. Relax for a second. Then pull your feet in towards your groin. Your knees are going to pop up, and that is absolutely 100% normal. From here, our goal is to stretch out these groin muscles. And the way we do that is we bring the knees down into the ground. We can apply pressure with our hands for that, but I always want you to strengthen your muscles. So we're going to use the outer thigh muscles. We're going to use the glutes to help pull open the legs. So if this is your first time doing this stretch, it's going to be a little bit confusing. You're not going to quite figure out how to do it, and that is absolutely normal and okay. So don't worry about that too much. Just try your best. If you're feeling a more intense stretch here in the groin area when you're like figuring out the muscles, then it's working. You're doing a great job. Cool. Once you've tried your best to contract those muscles and your knees are coming maybe a little bit closer to the ground, if you have weak outer thigh and glute muscles, it's going to be harder for your knees to come down, especially if you have really strong inner thigh muscles. Who knows what's going on with your legs? But from here, once you've tried your best to open up your legs with muscle power, we're going to take our hands, we're going to apply a little bit of pressure. And the reason why we are sitting against the wall is because your shoulders and the back of your head should probably be feeling a bit of pressure right now from the wall. That is the wall keeping you from pushing yourself and falling backwards. All right. We like the wall. We love the wall. It's helping us get into a deeper stretch. So take advantage. We're here. We're holding it for 30 seconds. I'm going to scoot to a new position because this table is too close to me and I can't actually get into the full stretch. But now we're ready to go. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Remember to breathe. 24, 23. If you aren't contracting muscles, try to contract some muscles and see if they help pull your legs down ever so slightly. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Now relax all those muscles. I told you to contract muscles. Now relax all of them. Just try your best to chill and see what happens. Keep on pushing with your hands. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We are done. Let the hands go. If you were able to pull off 30 seconds, if you contracted your muscles a lot, your legs might feel like they're not quite ready to move. They're a little confused. You're like, what's happening? Why is my leg not very functional right now? That is kind of normal when you put a lot of pressure and you force them to do one thing for a little bit. They sort of get confused. And all you have to do is just shake out your leg for a little bit. Extend it. Give them a little shake. And your legs should be back to normal so you can get on into the third stretch. We're getting into a standing pancake for part 3. And the standing pancake looks basically like this. We're setting up with our legs decently wide open, not super crazy. If there's pain in your hips, bring your legs back together. There should not be any pain yet. Fold forward at the hips so that your face is down, your belly button is pointing down, and if it looks like you're just trying to touch your toes, that's basically right. From here, you can widen your stance, get as open and as stretched out as you want, but the goal here is to fold at the hips. We want to bring the belly button down, so that our head is going towards the center of our legs. And that is a really hard stretch. For most of us, it's going to be incredibly crazy. That's why we do the standing variation, because gravity is pulling our head, our chest, all of this stuff, upper body, down into the ground and giving us a whole bunch of help. If you were feeling like this is about as flexible as you're going to get, 90 degrees, and you were seated on the ground, there's no way you can lean forward because all that strength is going to have to come from your core. When you're standing and you're folding this way, gravity is going whoosh and pulling you down into the ground. Cool? So enjoy that gravity assistance and let's keep going. From here, we got options. To make it harder, you can extend your arms out in front of you and you'll suddenly feel way more pressure in your hips, in your legs. If you need some help counterbalancing, putting your hands forward because you feel like you're going to fall over, you can stick your butt just a little bit back behind your feet. Whoosh, push them back. And that's basically it. If you want, you can grab your legs and give them a pull and just manually pull your chest in towards the ground. The con is your arms attached to your upper back, so it tends to cause you to rotate and spin rather than fold at the hips, so just be careful of that. That's everything. You got this. Way too much information. Let's go. 30 seconds. Fold at the hips. Bring the belly button down. Keep on focusing on bringing that belly button down closer to the ground. And 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our standing pancake. Bring your legs back in together, and if your legs are struggling right now, that's very normal. So I gave you the option to figure out how wide you wanted to take your leg stance, and I told you that we're going to fold forward first, and then you can spread your legs as far as you want or as not far as you want. The further you spread, the weaker your leg muscles are going to be, because you don't spend any time training this position for most people. If you do, then you are an exception. And what we're doing here when we're hanging out in the standing pancake is folding forward, right? But our legs are also contracting because they have to pull your legs together to keep you from slipping out into a dangerous position. That is the job of all of your muscles, and this is why you get kind of stiff in all these places, is because your brain, your subconscious mind, is designed to make sure that you stay safe. So when you start doing things that you're not used to doing, that your brain's not used to, that you don't have a lot of control over, your brain goes, whoa, stop, hit the brakes, don't you do that, that's bad. And one of those positions that happens often in is in this type of position, when you're trying to get into a side split. So when we're hanging here, it's not that this is the maximum that our muscle can stretch, it's that this is the position where our muscles go, whoa, cut that out, and they start contracting to fight against the stretch that you're putting on. And that also means that when you hang out here in the standing pancake, gravity's pulling your hips down, right? Your weight is in those legs. That means you're trying to stretch, you're trying to put your body into this really intense contraction, and your legs are contracting in order to keep you upright. That's a really detailed explanation for your legs are getting stronger. We're training them while we do the standing pancake. Cool. And because we're training them, we're holding that tension that whole entire time while we do the stretch. They're going to be really tired because it's like holding a bicep curl for 30 seconds with a bunch of weight. And by the time your 30 seconds is done, your bicep is like, oh, I'm dead. I'm tired. Oh. Cool. Same principles, same ideas, applied a little bit differently. All right, let's get out of this. I hope with that huge, long explanation, your hips, your legs have relaxed a little bit. I probably should have just told you to start shaking out your legs before I started the ramble, but I hope you're feeling a little bit more relaxed because we're moving on into stretch number 4. We got the option here of either the pigeon or the figure 4 stretch. If you know which one you prefer, go ahead and do that one. For the people who don't know what the difference is, let's talk about it. We're going to bring the ankle across the body. We're going to reach down, grab that ankle. We're going to pull that ankle to basically our belly button. We're going to fold our belly button down. This isn't the actual stretch. I'm just demonstrating what they all look like. From here, I don't know why I'm suddenly off balance. Okay, from here, we want to feel the stretch in the side hip, in the side glute area. All right, if you pull this leg towards your chest, towards your belly button, that is when you're going to feel this stretch. This same position, I wonder if I can do this holding the leg. Ugh! I can. Okay, this is a pigeon stretch, right? And you have a lot of options for this one, including standing on something, putting your leg up, and folding down. Boom. You can experiment. In the figure 4, we just do the exact same stretch, the exact same position, but instead of pulling up, we lay down and we pull the leg down towards us. I'm trying to remember what we did yesterday. I'm pretty sure we did the pigeon. So we're going to do the figure 4. Okay, I don't know if that's true, but we're going to do it anyway. Let's go. It's time for the figure 4. The figure 4 is a little bit easier to get into than the pigeon because we are lying down on our ground. We are taking the leg that we're going to stretch. We're going to cross it over to that knee. Remember what we just talked about. Then we're going to reach our hand through the triangle we just made, and we're going to wrap the other hand around and pull the other leg towards us. And when we do that, we get right back into this position that we were looking at earlier, where the leg is bent and it's being pulled towards our chest, towards our belly button, and we're feeling the stretch here in the side of the hip. This is the figure 4 stretch. Go ahead and pull your leg towards your chest. 30, 29, 28, 27. You might notice that your knee is a little bit sensitive. This won't be for everybody, but some people have achy knees, and this is a moment where you might be feeling some pressure in the knee. That is because we're applying pressure here at the ankle, and we're pushing that force and torquing the knee and hoping that will impact the hip into this stretch. So take your hands, cup your knee, pull your knee in towards your chest, and that will help feel the stretch a little bit better and also reduce some of that tension on the knee. Oh, long explanation. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Pull that knee in. 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, relax, chill, breathe. This is the fourth of our 5 stretches. This is the only one where we get to lie down on the ground. So if you are tired, take advantage and try your best to chill out while I ramble and talk about details. Let's go. Take the other leg, we're gonna stretch, cross it over to the other side. Again, we're reaching our arms through to pull on this knee. If you have some knee sensitivity in the bent leg, then cup the knee and pull everything towards you. Cool? Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. You might notice one leg is way more stiff than the other and needs a little bit more help. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. That is totally normal. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh. Okay, flop on the ground, relax. I just slammed my wrists pretty hard into the ground. If you're wearing a watch, that's probably not too pleasant, so try not to relax too hard. All right, it's time. We have just finished 4 of our stretches. We did our 3 warm-up exercises. It's time for some side splits. So come on up, back into standing, and let's do it. Side splits is what we have been working towards. All of the stretches that we do starts preparing the body because we're going to use all of these muscles in the side splits themselves. But we take them and we focus on them a little bit at a time until all the muscles have been warmed up and pre-stretched for the hardest one, the side splits. To get into side splits, we are going to do 2 things. First thing is figure out how to feel safe and how to feel comfortable. When you are tense, when you're scared, when you're afraid, your muscles are going to naturally tense up, and that's going to make it really hard for you to get flexible and stretch out, right? Because we need the muscles to relax. So if you feel a little bit afraid, if you're a little hesitant, go grab some things. Grab some cushions to pad the floor around you. Grab a chair or something that you can hold onto to help keep you balanced. Whatever it is that you need, go ahead and go grab it. Number 2, I prefer if you have a wall or something behind you to fall back against. In this case, my preferred object is the wall, and that is because the wall is very stable and it's not going to slip out from behind you. And if you stand about 8 to 12 inches in front of it, if you start falling, maybe you'll just lean back, your butt will rest on the wall. Perfect. If you start falling and you're in this position, you're like, oh gosh, what's going on? Your back slams into the wall. It's only a couple inches. It is way better than your butt going all the way to the ground and smashing your tailbone into the floor. That is scary and that hurts way more. So I recommend you get in front of a wall, start your stretches there. I'm going to use this table because I don't have enough depth in this room to record falling back onto the wall, so I only got this. Cool. Let's go. We're going to get into the side split now. We're going to open up the legs decently wide. Doesn't have to be crazy. If you're already feeling pain in the hips, stop. Bring your legs back in. We're going to fold forward next. Then we're going to put our hands down. If you can't reach, that's okay. You might want to consider grabbing something to elevate your hands. But from here, This is when we start opening up the legs. When our head is pointing up, or the top of our head is pointing up, and our toes are also pointing up in the same direction, then you're basically in the position that you need to be in order to do a side split. Okay? So, top of the head and where the toes are pointing. If those are the same direction, you're ready to do some side splits. So, you can open up your legs a lot wider now, and they should not hurt as bad as if you try to do that while you were standing up. And what we've done is we folded our hips forward. That is really confusing. So if that didn't make any sense, just ignore it and we'll keep going. When we're in this position, I want you to point your hands forward and sort of do something like a push-up. In this push-up, we don't actually care if you do the push-up. We just want to make sure your weight is in your arms and there's less weight in your legs. What we're going to do with that less weight is we're going to rotate our legs. What that means is our heels are down, our toes are up, and our knees are pointing up. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. We're doing this because we want to sit back a little bit. And when we sit back, the tops of our heads are pointing up and the toes are pointing up. We got to prime and do the legs first. Whew. This is the main thing. The reason why this is confusing is because I try to introduce a new way to talk about it, and I think I butchered it. But the goal here, and the most important part of this whole entire side split thing, is we want to externally rotate so the toes are pointing up, the knees are pointing up, and the heels are down. All right, walk your hands back towards your hips to put all the weight that we were kind of trying to shift forward back into your legs, and that is basically your side split. Your straddle, your pancake, it's every stretch. It's every stretch where your legs have to open up. You decide what you want to do with it to make it more intense or less intense or more fun, less fun. From here, we're going to do a little wiggle from side to side, and that's going to break the friction holding our feet back from sliding out. And that's it. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, remember to breathe, don't hold your breath, definitely do not hold your breath, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that is enough. Walk your hands forward. Bring your knees in underneath you and try your best to hang out for a second. Just breathe. What we just did was get into a position where our muscles were freaking out, getting really tense, contracting, trying to keep us from getting into a deeper position. And then we put even more pressure on that stretch by walking our hands back and putting all the body weight right into our legs. So if your legs are feeling like super tense, that's exactly what they should be feeling. From here, we're gonna try our best to come back into standing. We're gonna shake out that tension. We're gonna try and get super loose so that you can get back into side split number 2, and we can get a whole bunch more of stretching out of this session. Cool? Let's go. What I want you to do is try to shake that leg out. Imagine you just got out of a pool of water and you need to get your feet relatively dry ASAP. So you're flicking your feet, flick, 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 flick. As you get more comfortable with that, I want you to just keep on flicking, relaxing the leg, sort of flop around, shake out the leg, and switch to the other side. Shake, 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 flop, 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 wiggle, 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 wiggle. And as you get more comfortable with it, instead of just coming from the knee, flopping back and forth, you might add a little bit that's coming from the hip directly. So you get a couple more muscles, a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more involved. From here, we're gonna do a little bit for the hip, because when your legs are out like that, these are contracting, these are stiff, and they're feeling a little bit weird. So I want you to plant your big toe. I want you to keep everything else basically stable. I want you to just sort of wiggle your ankle back and forth from side to side so that the leg is rotating at the hip. Talked about the ankle because that's the thing that looks like is moving the most. But all of the movement is really coming from right here in the leg where it connects to the hip. Same thing on the other side. Just a little bit of movement to loosen up the hip muscles. And once you've done that, we're ready to move on into side split number 2. If you're still feeling stiff, do another shake, do another wiggle, and get loose. Okay, side split number 2. Once again, stand 8 to 12 inches in front of whatever you're going to fall back onto to help keep you safe. And we are going to open up the legs decently wide. Should not hurt. If it hurts, bring your legs back in. Fold at the hips. Put your hands down for a little bit of support. Get into a deeper position because you can now put a whole bunch of pressure into your hands like you're going to do a push-up so that some of your body weight is not directly in your legs. That will make it easier to externally rotate the legs, which means the heels are down, the toes are up, and the knees are pointing up. This is the most important position. It moves your thigh bones out of the way of your hip bones and lets you get into a more side split looking position. From here, we're going to walk our hands back towards our hips. Put the body weight that we shifted forward right back into our legs, and it's going to make the stretch way more intense. We're going to do a little wiggle from side to side to see if our feet are just a little sticky and is friction holding them back from a deeper stretch. Once you are as deep as you can go, 30 seconds, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. If you're feeling flexible, you can do a little wiggle at any time to add a little bit more depth to your stretch. 20, 19, 18, 17. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Whew, that's it. Walk your hands forward. Pull your legs in and hang out in some way. Chill, relax. Breathe. That was our second side split. We're doing one more for a total of 3. I can't figure out how to use my fingers. And when you can, come back out. Let's get into a position where we're going to shake out our legs. I'm going to adjust the earbud for our TikTok audience real quick because it's slipping out. I hope that doesn't sound really loud and obnoxious. And we're going to move on. Let's shake out the legs. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Remember, if you're just first starting out, you need to focus on flicking your legs like you just stepped out of a pool of water and you need to get your feet dry. As you get more comfortable with that, you can add in a little bit more shakiness, some flopping, some rotation like this. Maybe you'll notice your calves are flopping around. Maybe you'll notice your quads are flopping around. That is how we know those muscles are loose. If they were tense, you would not flop. You would be a robot, all right? So shake out the other leg, ankles, calves, quads. Just give them a little wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. When the muscles are loose, you should feel the difference. And that's it. That's all it is. Cool. We're going to do a little bit for the hips one more time. We're going to get onto that big toe. There's no pressure on that leg. We are putting all of the body weight into this leg, right? So from here, the big toe is down as an anchor point, and we're rotating so that this hip joint right here is moving in and out. Imagine you're using your knee to fan a fire. I don't know. What would you be fanning with your knee? I got no idea. This is a bad analogy. We're moving on. Other side. All the weight is in this leg. We're planting the toe just as an anchor point, and we're rotating at the hip. It looks like the knee is moving. It looks like the ankle is moving, but that is just an illusion. They are locked in perfect position. It is happening all at the hip. Whew. Okay, now that your hips have a little bit more movement, if you feel like that wasn't enough, you can do something that looks a little bit like a pigeon. We'll bring the leg up to the other side. Just tap your ankle a little bit, get a little bit of movement like this. If that's still not enough, then I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have to figure something else out because we're moving on into side split number 3. We're wrapping up. Get 8 to 12 inches in front of whatever that is that you are standing in front of to help keep you safe. Get into that wide leg position. Fold forward. Once you're folded forward, you can open up the legs as deep as you'd like. From here, put as much weight into your hands as you can and externally rotate your legs so that your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are up. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. From here, we're going to walk our hands back, put the body weight we kind of shifted forward into our arms, back into our legs, and try to get deeper into this side split stretch. We're going to add a little wiggle from side to see if we can get just a little bit more out of the stretch. And once you're as deep as you can go, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You can experiment by bending your elbows and see if there's suddenly way more weight in your legs. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's enough. Walk your hands forward. Bring your legs in. Oh, and that is side split number 3. We're going to shake it out. Let's come back into standing when you can and start the shaky shakes. You know the drill. We're shaking out the legs. And you can start as if you're just getting water off your feet. And as you get more comfortable, you can get a little bit more aggressive. Feel free to hold on to something for a little bit of balance as you get this leg to flop all over the place. In the meantime, while we flop, I think it should be time for a reminder. We do 45 to 60-ish minutes of live side split stretching every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. I try to bring good vibes to the internet, help you guys stretch a little bit more, stretch with me, and I hope you bring good vibes to the chat so that you guys can support each other and keep this a fun, energetic place to get a little bit of exercise in. Hopefully, good vibes, consistency, community, all those things together make it a lot more fun to suffer on the floor, do some side splits, and do some hip mobility stretching. And we make a whole bunch of progress in our side split goals. If that sounds fun, if that sounds cool, if you've enjoyed the live so far and you're feeling like this is a fun place to be, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back, because we're here every single day, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's probably about an hour ago on the hour. And that is us shaking out our legs. Let's make sure we do a little bit for the hips. You can plant the toe if you like. If you want to take it to a higher level, do something a little bit more intense, you can pop into a little bit of a squat position. And we're going to do the same thing. All the weight, instead of on our toe, is going to be on the ball of one foot. There's actually not that much weight. I meant that the other foot has most of the weight. But we're going to rotate the leg in and rotate the leg out and in and out. Try to keep your body more or less still. Have all of that movement come from the hip and try to open it as wide as you can and bring it in as much as you can. Get a little bit of hip mobility out of this last little thing. In and out and in and out. I sometimes call this Stanky Leg Junior. Actually, I think this one is Stanky Leg Junior, and this is probably just going to be called Stanky Leg. If you don't want to super focus on it, you want to make it a little bit more fun, you can do things that turn into dance, turn into something fun. It doesn't have to be so strict and so serious. I demonstrate some really solid, strict form so that you guys know what it's supposed to look like and what you want to do, but it's not that serious, all right? Movement is all that matters, and if you're just doing some dance moves, that's totally cool. All right, that is our hips. That is almost everything. We're gonna do one last thing. You shouldn't need it, but we're going to do it anyway so that you have this as a tool. We're going to do some hip checks. We're going to do some hip circles and make sure everything is feeling okay. Usually, after doing some side splits, the sides of my hips are really tight and they need a little bit of extra attention. And it feels really painful yet good all at the same time. Okay. From there, I'm going to add in a little bit of high knees just to make sure the hip flexors are working. I don't have any issues here usually, but I want to make sure that you can lift your knees. Cool. Next, we are going to fold at the hips. We're going to pop into a little bit of a squat. We're going to put pressure into the knees by leaning them forward. We're going to put pressure into the ankles automatically by bringing the knees forward because the ankles are getting that nice calf stretch. We're going to be putting a lot of pressure on the toes to help us keep balance because we're leaning so far forward. And I want you to do a calf raise. Maybe do 2 calf raises. Then come up from the squat. That is going to make sure all of your muscles are kind of working well together. You're able to do a bunch of complex movement and you're staying coordinated. If you're able to do those real well, then you're golden. You're ready to go on and do whatever else you got to do for the rest of the day. Because with that, we are wrapped up with the exercises. Thank you, everybody, for coming in today, practicing consistency, hanging out with the community, engaging with the chat, and hope you had fun because I hope to see you tomorrow. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, wow, we're just under an hour, or just over an hour. Whew, amazing. Oh, I'm making progress, Gayeta, Ganowski. They have been here for several months at this point and have seen some of the crazy long lives where I just super way over explain and I can't help myself because I tried to be very welcoming to new people as they come in. And over the last couple of days, especially, we've had a bunch of really high spikes with hundreds of people in the lives. And I try to do my best to make all the content and all the exercise that we do on the floor quick to understand, sort of. And I do that by over explaining. Usually, you probably don't need that much talking, but I'm hoping that it makes you feel like, oh, okay, Ken's going to explain everything. I don't need to stress. He'll even count for me, so I don't have to worry about that. I just got to go do the stretch. I'm trying to make life easier for you by talking way too much. So if that's helpful, let me know. And hopefully it helped new people feel a bit more welcome in the live. Whew. Okay. Oh, Travel with Roxy has responded to a question. This is daily, so you can come back tomorrow. He also has a long form video on the YouTube channel that's a no talking version of this. Oh yes, if you find my talking annoying, I'm just kidding. I hope you don't find it annoying. I have a version where there is absolutely no talking. You can do this in silence at 6 a.m. next to your partner who's sleeping in the hotel room or something. I don't know why you would do that. That's crazy. But you can. And that video is available on YouTube. The username is @splitsontheside, and I think it's like 15-ish minutes long. So that is something you can go check out. Gayeta says, Ken has a professor voice. What's a professor voice? Is that a good thing? Is that a positive thing? Do you like professors? You sound like a professor. Okay. Katerina says, I like the talking and counting. Lovely. Thank you. That is good feedback. Melody says, have you thought about doing a side split stretch routine? I have thought about doing those. I think when we super focus on the side split stretch, it caters to people who are a little bit more advanced. Because most of the time, like when you watch a YouTube video, it's like a super flexible person who's like, oh, just sit in this position and then go, ugh. Obviously, as you can see right now, there's just no chance I can. I'm like, ugh. Nope. And because of how difficult those stretches are to even get into, I feel like it's not very welcoming to a community of people who are just trying to get started, right? Like the vast, like 99.9% of the world is closer to than they are like, all right, I can't even demonstrate. So I don't know what I was trying to do. And so I'm not really super certain how I want to integrate a more advanced side split specific thing. And I figured this version of it is more helpful to the general public because my goal, as I said, was to build consistency. right? If you can stay consistent doing this thing, you got hip mobility work in the hip cars, you have a little bit of hamstring stuff, we have a little bit of the actual side splits, some pigeon stretch for the sides of the glutes, and the groin stretch. If you decide it's time for you to upgrade and focus just on really intense side split stretches, then that is fantastic. That's lovely. That's what I want you guys to do, right? Like the goal here. I got a warning from TikTok that thinks I'm a bot. I gotta figure out a puzzle. Give me a second. And I did the puzzle too fast and I messed it up. Boom. Okay, puzzle solved. So, where am I going with this? I think what the world needs generally is a little bit more support to stay consistent, to make progress towards their goals. And that's, I think, where I'm trying to fit. I have considered putting on a second live where we just do really intense side splits. So, because I probably need a little bit more of that stuff at the moment rather than the quicker side split stuff. But I've made a ton of progress, right? If you check out Instagram from a year ago when I first started doing stretches, and I've been doing this program basically pretty much exclusively for a year. Some version of this program I've been tweaking and adjusting a little bit at a time, and I've made massive progress since then. You can definitely argue that these are not the fastest exercises, not the fastest program. If you're trying to get it done in like 30 days, it's not going to get you there. There's no way. But if your problem is that you've never been consistent anyway, then even if you had the absolute best plan that some Olympic level athlete has put together for you, custom tailored to you, if you can't stay consistent with it, then it doesn't matter if you have it or not, right? So that's the goal, to make this whole live more fun, more engaging, give you just enough that you're constantly working on your hips, do it enough and often enough and with just low enough intensity that you can come back the next day. You'll be more or less recovered for some more stretching, some more movement. And yeah, that's a lot of ands. So and that's generally the goal. Where are we in the chat? Cool. All right. I'm going to keep scrolling back up and see what else we have to respond to. Can you save this class for later? We have all of the live recordings available on YouTube because I do a dual live stream. I do one on TikTok and one on YouTube. And so you can go ahead and find the YouTube channel. It's at Splits on the side. And there should be a playlist that says live sessions. And all of the lives get uploaded there. I don't know how long it takes for YouTube to fully process the live footage once I click the button here on my phone later, but you can watch the old lives. But since you're already on this current live, you can just keep coming back to the current lives, and it's a lot more fun to stay engaged this way because I'll actually see your comments and be able to respond. Okay, I'm scrolling through the chat, checking if there is anything else that I have missed since I spend a lot of time in the back. Ganowski says, I love this one. I think it's the pigeon or the figure four. I can't remember. And I think that is most of the chat. I'm going to scroll back down and see what is up before we wrap up. Melody says, I look forward to the live. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you. Thank you for sending that lovely message. And thank you for sending some feedback that you're looking for something that maybe is more side split focused and is a little bit more advanced. So thank you for putting that thought into my brain so I can go work on it. Cool. All right. That's it for me, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in and practicing side splits. Thank you for coming in and practicing consistency. And I hope you had fun. I hope you got a good workout in. I hope the sweat is good. I hope your muscles are feeling a little bit more loose, a little bit more relaxed. Maybe your hips move a little bit better now after we've done the exercise. And I hope at the very, 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 very least, you've gotten enough warm-up done that you feel like you're a badass and you can do more cool things. I feel like when I'm scrolling on social media, I see somebody doing something really cool and I jump into something. I'm like, it's tough. It's hard. Usually that happens particularly bad when I am really cold and I haven't done anything else. I've just been scrolling, right? If you get a little bit of warm up, if you get your muscles awake and doing things right before you go try something cool, I promise the results will be way, 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 way better. So warm up, go do cool things, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening. And I hope to see you tomorrow. So that is it. I'm wrapping up. Hitting the off button. Goodbye. And now. And one more button over here on YouTube.